In this short video, I'll be going over a list of steps to upload a local project that you have onto a platform called GitHub. So, what is GitHub? So, GitHub is basically just like a platform where we can upload our code that we write so other people can see it, access it, read it, and do whatever else they want with it. Think about GitHub as just a simple Google Drive or Dropbox, but for your code. But of course, in this case, we actually want other people to see our work so we can showcase what we can do and our capabilities as a programmer. So this is their professional official website. Um, and it's basically a place where, as programmers, we want to save our work so we can um, always pick up where we left off on our one computer to another or one place to another. And of course, it's a great way to collaborate with other programmers, other developers as well. So we don't have like one single place where we have all our code, but rather everyone uh, can basically access a project from anywhere around the world just by logging into this platform. So I want to make this video specifically for code newbies or for people just starting out and learning to code. Um, but of course, they also want to showcase their work to others, as I mentioned, and this is a perfect platform for that. I really just want to make this easier for the newbies and the developers who are just starting out to easily and quickly upload their work onto this platform without having to know a lot about like Git or command line tool or like the terminal application and so on. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. So here are the steps that we need. Um, there's really just 4 separate steps we need. The first that we need to have is basically just a copy of your project files ready to go, right? So what exactly do we want to upload onto this platform? So in this example, so I'm on a Mac here, and under my downloads uh, directory here, or yeah, the folder here, I have this project called or summary card, and it basically just has a few different files. Of course, an HTML file, a CSS file, and a few images that are being used inside the HTML file. And just to kind of show you guys what this is I'll just quickly click on it here, and it should open up a browser showcasing that work. Here we go. So this is all there is to it. Oops, there's this ad blocker that came up. Ignore that. So this is all there is to it. So this is just a piece of UI that I've built using HTML and CSS, or basically the code that we have here. And what we want to do is we want to upload this code up onto this platform called GitHub so other people can see it. So cool. So we have our project ready to go. The second step that we need is we need to create a GitHub account. So again, here's the official website. I want to go ahead and showcase every single step line by line so anyone who is following this tutorial can actually really just do exactly what I'm doing, so they don't get stuck in any of the steps that I'll be sort of going over. So go ahead and click on the sign up button here, and it will take you to this page where it will prompt you for an email. And I have a temporary email here set up. Again, I haven't had this account at all. This is brand new. I'm signing up, starting from scratch, just like where you are. Also, just a quick note, maybe some of you guys already have a GitHub account. This is of course for people who don't have an account, and a walkthrough of how to create a new account for or as a GitHub user. So in our case, I'm going to go ahead and type in my email here. So almost done. Again, this is a temporary email, so I'm going to delete it right after, so don't even think about using it. I'm sure you won't get anywhere with this anyway. But okay, so we've entered the email. Let's go ahead and continue. We want to add a simple password. Let's go ahead and add a password. Make sure it's a strong password. Go ahead and continue. And next is our username. For our case, I'll just use this. So here's my username. Go ahead and continue. And next is, would you like to receive product updates? No, I don't want to get spammed by GitHub. So I'm going to click, I'm going to just type in N and continue. And it wants us to verify our account. So let's go ahead and start the puzzle. Pick one square that shows two identical objects. Okay, identical. This looks identical. And here's another challenge. I think these two are identical. Cool, that's it. Let's go ahead and click on create account here. Okay, it's going to send you a code to your email. So I'm going to quickly check that and I'll be right back. Alright, while we're just waiting on the email to come through. Okay, there we go. I think I just received it. Yep, so I'm going to go ahead and, of course, in this case, in your case, you can go ahead and go log into your email and look for this email with this launch code. 88. Cool. You can probably just ignore this for now. I'm sure you won't probably get this. Again, this is a temporary email that I'm just creating, that I just created to basically just create this GitHub account. For your case, you might not see this flag here. The next steps here is how many team members will you have. Just click on just me, and you can just see you're a student here. Continue. What specific features are you interested in? Feel free to just go ahead and skip all of this and click on continue. And this third option is basically what version of GitHub do you want. So in our case, of course, we want this to be completely free. There isn't one option for us to basically pay as we go for public repositories, for private repositories. But for our case, I think the free tier is perfectly fine. Click on continue for free. And we're almost done. This will go ahead and create our account and take us to our dashboard here. So we just created our GitHub account. Now, our next step is really to create a new repository or a new project inside our GitHub. Of course, we have our local projects, but we need to upload it here. So how do we do that? So you can go onto this top right drop down here and click on your profile. This is basically just your profile for GitHub. It's like any other social media profile that you might have, but for programmers. This is basically going to fill up over time as you type in more code and upload more code onto GitHub. But for our case, we can go up to this repositories tab, and we want to create a new repository. Just to clarify, repositories are basically just projects. GitHub just uses the word repositories. Think of repositories as just projects that you have built over time. We want to create a new project for ourselves. So we're going to go ahead and click on new. Here, it is asking for a repository name. For my case, it's basically what is our name of the project. I'm going to go ahead and copy over this name here, which is order summary card, just like that. Notice that I don't use any spaces, or I did not use any spaces here. Generally, if you do use spaces, it's basically just going to turn the spaces into hyphens anyway. But for project names, you generally just want to keep all of it lowercase. It's not really required they're all lowercase, but I tend to keep it all lowercase, and I separate each word with a hyphen. So once we have our repository name all done, give it a description of what the project is about. For my case, it's just a small UI, right? So I'm going to just say a small UI built with HTML and CSS. This is optional as mentioned here, but it's better to have details of what you're working on, right? Great. Next is, do we want to make our project public or private? Of course, we want to keep this public because we want to showcase our work in this case. So I'll keep this as public. Next is initial this repository with the README. Notice if you go into my project specifically, I already have a README file. What this readme.md file really is just a wiki page of what your project is all about. It's completely optional. Again, in my case, I already have it, so I'm not going to select this box here, but you can certainly do so if you want. I'm going to keep it unchecked. For the next option, you can also keep this as none, and for license, also keep this as none. I don't want to get more in depth into this. Again, this is just a simple video showcasing our local project that we want to upload it onto GitHub. So leave these just as they are. And let's go ahead and click on Create Repository. Okay, now things get hard. Just kidding. This is going to look very confusing. You can ignore all of this. This is basically for people who are actually familiar with Git and using the command line prompt. For our case, again, this is for complete newbies. We just want to upload a few files here. So go ahead and ignore all this and click on this link here called Uploading an Existing File. And here we have a nice simple UI where we can really just drag and drop all of our project files and save it here, just like how we would do on inside of Google Drive when we want to upload certain files, spreadsheets, and whatsoever other document we might have. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my project here. You want to go into the project files, not just from the directory level, but you want to go into the files inside the project. Go ahead and copy over everything, or basically select everything. For Mac, you can use Command A to select everything. So if I'm going to do Command A, it selects everything. And all you want to do is really drag and drop. I'm going to click on this, drop it here. And as you can see, it's just like how we use Google Drive, where we just drag and drop certain files, and it's going to just upload it here. And under here, which is commit changes, you can just basically just say what changes you just made, right? What did you just do to this repository? So because this is our first time uploading files for this new project or for this new repository, I'm gonna just leave it a message and say initial commit and click on commit changes. It's gonna go ahead and process all your files, and there you have it, all your local files uploaded up onto GitHub under your account. So that's it. That's pretty much all there is to it. What we have done is we basically just have this local project sitting in our computer only, and it was not accessible to the world. And we uploaded all of it to this GitHub platform so other people can access it through the use of this unique URL that we have here. So anyone can take this URL, right, go into it. You can share this URL with others, and they can check out the projects that you've just worked on. That's really all there is to it. So now all your local project files that you just uploaded on GitHub can be visited by anyone else, and you can really just follow this very similar process for any other projects you might have And of course, you can create really, I think, as many repositories as you need. So you can just go into our repositories here. You can see that here's the project I just created. And of course, I can go ahead and create new ones as needed as well. So that's all there's to it. I hope you find this video informative and useful, and feel free to share with others. Like, subscribe, whatever you want. All right, until next time, bye.